You know, as far as directing the journey of the service and being an extra set of ears for the sound guy, a lot of times the sound person can get so involved in mixing, they literally are carving something, and then they don't look at the big picture and say, is it loud enough in here? And so it helps to have another person say, hey, it needs to be louder or softer, particularly right there at the beginning. So that we can either quiet the people down, they can even just simply hear the MC. One of the things you do is simply just tell them, hey, I need it louder, need it softer. I sometimes, if they're down in the midst of carving and they're in the anointing, I find myself just easily touching basically this mains slider and just pushing it up even a little bit or pulling it down a little bit to give us more oomph. We're slowly building. We're slowly building basically to a point where this SPL meter, and this is an iPad that has a dual SPL meter. It's hooked up to a measurement mic. It basically is specially designed for an iPad. On the left we have dBA scale, slow, and on the right we have dBc scale, slow. The A scale does not have the low end in its range. So we normally try to hit 95 dBA at our peak and 105 dBc at our peak. And this is a stoplight meter such that the louder that it goes, it turns green, then yellow, and then I'm just tapping on the mic with my fingers. But the louder we get, if I could tap it loud enough, it would turn red, and that basically tells the person, hey, that's enough. We're close to we're at our stopping spot. I find, again, just having a person stand back, listen to the overall volume, and help get us to that epic moment of when we hit 95. Even if once we've hit it and we back off again, simply pulling the volume back down even a couple of dB helps us all breathe. And then we can go back at it again. For instance, if the worship team brings us back up there, we push it back up. We're always following their lead, but we're emphasizing basically what they're doing. And I do the same thing with the lights. I think the only other thing I mentioned on this particular video segment is looking to see how bright it is in the room and saying our normal worship might be all the way down to house 20, but did the worship team lead us into a intimate enough moment that we say, I actually want it even darker. Let's go to house 18. And this 18%, even though it's only 2% of what we're asking for, it is enough of a difference in lumens. You know, it's not an actual 2% difference in lumens, but it is different enough that it feels like, to me, that you can actually now get down on your knees and not feel uncomfortable about people seeing you or wondering why you're doing that. I have even an occasion, usually for college more Sunday service, gone down to house 16. If you go lower than house 16, I think that the cans lights start just shutting off. It really is quite dark in here. And so anyway, this producer sort of role that's watching the lighting as well as the audio level helps, because the person who's normally sitting here is kind of mired down into the details of the tasks and doesn't necessarily look big picture sometimes. That's it.